Okay, welcome back. This is Module 5, Earth and Everyday Support. Lesson 5.1, Nature as a Quiet Support. This particular lesson is super near and dear to me. Nature was my very first teacher. Nature is where I learned about myself, where I learned how the ecosystems of the world work. And it's where I learned that nature actually recharges you. Nature, we're so connected that it refreshes your battery, brings you back center. So, um, my whole life, I have absolutely loved it from the minute I was born. My parents said that, I always wanted to be around the animals and outside and those things, just not in the sand. Don't do the sand. When I was little, I didn't do the sand. But um, anyhow, nature is an incredible teacher if you just sit long enough to watch and learn from it. So, here's my story and how nature supported me and got me through some of the hardest times of my life and saved my life. So, here we go. From the time I was small, my dad always had me outside introducing me to everything from the different plants that grow naturally in our area and what was safe or unsafe to touch or eat, all the way to the survival skills we would need if we ever found ourselves in the position where we would need it, all the way over to our local wildlife and how to find peace just being out there with no other direct reason other than enjoying being there. He always told me that the same things that are there during the day are also there in the dark, so I never needed to fear being there. Most little girls spent their time playing with their Barbies and dolls while I was drawing faces on rocks, carrying them around in a runoff ditch that I built an entire playhouse in. I spent all day, every day outside in nature, observing or talking to the animals and plants in my own little world. I've been drawn to nature my whole life, and I always knew I was different. What I didn't know is that very connection would be part of saving my life over and over again. Over the years, I would always slip off into nature any way I could, and any time I was faced with stressful times, negative self image, or anything else that stressed me. I'd wander out into the woods or take my kayak out and just cry. I would let all of my emotion out and just sit quietly, observing the natural energy around me with the sounds of nature drowning out any noise in my head. Nature never judged me and always had a way of relaxing my mind and restoring my energy. I thought it was just me because I was raised that way and I had a strong connection, but it turns out we are all energetically connected to nature. We as humans are energetic beings and are connected energetically to literally everything around us. The way our systems are wired mimics and mirrors the structure of plants and trees. A tree's roots are so much more than just its way to receive nutrients from the soil to grow. They're a part of a very complex and intricate energetic communicative system that speaks to and connects with other energy sources. When we place our hands on a tree or our feet on the earth, there's an energetic exchange that happens by allowing the negative energy to be released, and in its place is pure, filtered energy that is returned to your body. Sometimes you can feel it physically, sometimes not at all. Regardless, it's happening. So, what I mean by that is, even though you don't go down there and you go out there and touch the tree, touch the grass, and you don't feel some crazy electric zip, right? That doesn't mean that it's not happening. Sometimes you're going to feel, for me, my hands tingle and my feet tingle. The bottoms of my feet and my palms will tingle. And I can personally feel the energy exchange happening. But just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not happening. It's absolutely happening, whether you can feel it or not. I happen to be an energy worker, so I'm very sensitive to energy. I'm very in tuned with my body and my energy. So I feel it a lot easier, a lot clearer. And that takes time. And you may too. But just don't stop because you're not feeling it, so it's always happening. um Welcoming plants into your home space, we've gone over this, can also help you connect. Even though they aren't directly on the ground, they have their own energy and energetic system. I prefer body to earth contact, but both will foster your natural ability to slow down and just be. That's so important. That's the most beautiful thing about nature is that you can go out and literally just be. Doesn't judge. So there's so much to be learned from the way that the plants grow and the way that the animals exist with no sense of time, no agenda, but yet they exist doing what they do in their own world. And that's how we can learn so much from them. They're not worried about what the next beaver's doing or the next coyote's doing or whatever the animal is, the next rabbit's doing. They're literally in their own little world taking care of what they need to take care of. So that's what we need to do. That's how we can learn by watching. They're not criticizing themselves or adding extra pressure to themselves, literally just living in the moment with no concept of tomorrow or even the next minute ahead of them. It's just such a beautiful way to live. And it's all played to the beat of Mother Nature's playlist. And that's exactly how I view it. When I go out, I don't have my music playing. I just listen. I listen to the way that the water is moving. I listen to the breeze through the trees. I listen to the frogs. I listen to the crickets, the bugs, the night bugs. I just observe. And it's a gorgeous little personally written song for you while you're sitting there. And so that's the beauty of sitting out in nature. We're going to go ahead and move forward to lesson 5.2, tiny steps, not forced routines. So I had briefly touched on earlier the importance of making things small and easy for you, so that when you are doing it, it's not something that's causing resistance, making you not want to do it. So starting small makes it easy to keep up with. When you force a new routine of any kind, it becomes more of a burden. Therefore, we tend to give up and resort to whatever is feeling easier to do. Consistency doesn't need to be rigid to be effective. It can be built over time with just one small adjustment that shifts you into the direction that you want to be in. Intensity isn't required. Forcing only brings on more stress and pressure. Even having plants in the home as your form of nature helps. Nature's natural rhythms calm the brain. Sensory grounding signals stability. Wow. Sensory grounding signals stability. There we go. Got it. Starting with small practices builds safety and trust in the body. I'm super excited to go over with you in the next module, the habit loop, and we're going to learn how to start with the smallest things and celebrate those tiny things and learn how to build onto that to keep you successful and moving forward and not too much pressure. So we are going to learn how to do that completely. This is just a kind of like a brief little overview of things that we've already gone over. So making it an easy change will make it easier for you to continue. And gentle and easy repetition is easily sustainable. So here's some practice down at the bottom. Spend 5 to 10 minutes connecting with the earth, however it feels right for you and comfortable for you. So again, find what works for you, whatever way you need to connect, whether it's through houseplants in the house or go outside and connect with nature. You can also, ways that you can do that is direct contact body to earth. You can hold a stone or touch a plant because stones are energy also. And, that's when, if you really wanted to do some extra informational, helpful research, you can look up crystals. Crystals are incredible for helping you clear negative energies out. And when you set the intention for the crystal, again, you can ground yourself. So, there are many different crystals. They all have different uses, but it's more about what you're setting the intention for. So if you have that in your hand and that's how you prefer to ground yourself, then that's your personal method. You can also do this. This is a really good one. I forgot I had written that at the bottom, was visualizing sitting in nature. So that's something else you can do, is actually just sit, close your eyes, maybe play some nature sounds. I do it all the time. Sometimes I have birds, sometimes rain. Sometimes when it's snowing out, I'll have like a snowstorm playing just to kind of visualize myself sitting there, and again, it's all about feeling your body, feel into your body, feel into what that feels like. Just really sit and imagine what it would be like, especially for those of us with disabilities. I can't make it outside every day. I would love to, but I have 2 flights of stairs to go down and up, and I physically can't do it some days. So what I do instead is visualize, and really put yourself in that situation, feel it in your body. That's the overall. Like I said, these last few are going to be kind of shorter because they're more kind of, we've gone over so much so far. This is just the more direct kind of visual learning and practice that you'll have for the more specific things like building the habits and stacking the habits and having that stick, and also how to conserve your energy, your cognitive energy, and how that works, how the injured brain versus a healthy brain works, um, how a trauma, long-term trauma experience, has on you. So has on your, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut that short, has on your brain energy. So we're also going to go over that. So I have a lot of really good information coming up. A lot of these ones towards the end, we've kind of gone over everything. So it's just kind of reminding you and kind of putting it into your brain again, just so you hear it again. So now we're going to move on to module 6. So I will meet you there.